rotting, hungry, and relentless. They don't sleep, they don't stop, and they don't care if you're young, old, rich, or poor. Once they spot you, they're coming for you, and the only way out is to fight or run. But here's the twist. What if you were already homeless when the zombie outbreak began? No house, no steady food supply, no real safety net. Could you actually survive? Or would you be one of the first to go? According to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, on a single night in 2023, more than 650,000 people experienced homelessness across the country. Many live in tents, abandoned buildings, cars, or simply out in the open. Now, imagine, overnight, the world collapses into chaos. Streets filled with panic, cities burning, sirens screaming, and zombies flooding the sidewalks. If you're homeless, you're starting with nothing but the clothes on your back, your instincts, and whatever knowledge you've picked up from surviving tough streets. Could you make it? Let's break this down. Surviving a zombie apocalypse as a homeless person is a double-edged sword. On one hand, you already know how to survive with very little. You know where to look for food, how to handle cold nights, and how to stay alert in dangerous situations. These are survival skills most people with houses, cars, and pantries full of food have never had to learn. On the other hand, you don't have easy access to supplies. No stocked fridge, no basement full of canned beans, no walls or locked doors to keep zombies out. Your survival would depend entirely on resourcefulness and adaptability. The first challenge is food. After the first few days of panic, grocery stores will be looted and shelves cleared. But as someone homeless, you already know food insecurity better than most. You'd likely turn to overlooked sources. Dumpsters behind restaurants and stores, usually places where the unhoused already search for meals, could now be gold mines, at least in the early days before waste collection stops. Packaged foods like chips, canned goods, or bottled drinks last longer and don't need cooking, making them safer. Fast food spots or convenience stores might still hold hidden supplies if others overlook them. Another overlooked food source is vending machines. Smash and grab what you can, since coins and bills won't matter anymore. Later on, you'd have to rely on foraging, trees, bushes, and even small animals in urban areas. Rats, pigeons, and squirrels, as unpleasant as that sounds, could mean the difference between starving and surviving. Water comes next, and it's even more critical. Without clean water, you'll last only a few days. In a city setting, water fountains, public restrooms, and even fire hydrants might be early options. Collecting rainwater in bottles, cups, or even plastic bags could save your life. And don't forget, abandoned buildings often have half-empty water bottles, forgotten soda cans, or unopened drinks in vending machines. The homeless already know where to look for free water today, and that knowledge would transfer directly into the apocalypse. The downside is that as the days pass, clean water sources become rarer and the risk of contaminated supplies grows. Learning to filter water, even using improvised methods like cloth or boiling in a scavenged pot, becomes critical. Now, shelter. This is perhaps the biggest hurdle. During a zombie apocalypse, exposure equals death. Sleeping outside on a sidewalk or under a bridge leaves you wide open for an attack. But homeless individuals already know how to hide in plain sight. Tunnels, underpasses, and abandoned warehouses could provide short-term protection. A rooftop might be safer if you can reach it and block off the access point. Some homeless camps already exist in hard-to-reach or hidden areas. These spots could serve as early safe zones, at least until zombies or desperate survivors find them. The trick would be to stay mobile. While most people barricade themselves in their homes, you wouldn't have that option. Moving often, never staying in one spot too long, could actually increase your odds. Zombies follow sound and smell, so staying unpredictable is an advantage. Clothing and warmth would be another key point. Homeless individuals already face freezing nights with little protection. In the apocalypse, exposure could kill just as fast as a bite. Layering clothes, using blankets, or salvaging sleeping bags from abandoned stores would be life-saving. Shoes become even more important. Blisters, infections, or frostbite could cripple you, making you easy prey. Many homeless people already know the importance of keeping shoes dry and layering socks. Knowledge that could keep you alive longer than someone who's never spent a night outdoors. Let's talk defense. As a homeless person, you don't exactly have access to firearms or high-end weapons, but survival is about improvisation. A metal pipe, a crowbar, a sharpened stick, these could be your lifeline. Homeless people are already used to carrying sticks or makeshift weapons for protection against threats. That same street defense mindset translates directly into zombie defense. But here's the downside. Constant combat is a death sentence. You can't afford to fight every zombie. The best defense is staying hidden, staying quiet, and only striking when absolutely necessary. Mobility is both a strength and a weakness. On the one hand, without a permanent home, you're already used to moving through alleys, finding shortcuts, and traveling light. You don't have the burden of dragging around useless possessions. On the other hand, you don't have a car, a bike, or even a backpack sometimes. Everything you own is whatever you can carry. That means you'd have to make every item count. A sturdy bag could be the difference between surviving a week and dying in a day. Without it, you're limited to your pockets and your hands. Now, let's break down the pros and cons clearly. Pros. You already know how to survive without comfort, without steady meals, without safety nets. You're mentally tougher than the average person, and that resilience is priceless in the apocalypse. You know the streets, you know how to find overlooked resources, and you don't panic when things get rough. That's just another day to you. Cons. You don't have stockpiles of food or water. You don't have locked doors, electricity, or medicine on hand. One injury, one infection, and it could all be over. And while others might band together with family or neighbors, many homeless individuals are alone, which makes survival much harder. So, could you survive? The honest answer is yes, but the odds are brutal. You would have an advantage in toughness and resourcefulness, but the lack of supplies and secure shelter would be devastating long-term. The homeless are survivors by nature. They've been fighting for life in a world that often ignores them. In a zombie apocalypse, that same grit could keep them alive while many comfortable, unprepared people perish in the first week. But survival isn't just about making it through the first night, or even the first month. It's about finding stability in chaos. For a homeless person, that would mean seeking out groups, forming alliances, and creating some kind of shelter beyond a tent or alleyway. Alone, survival would be nearly impossible long-term. With others, pooling resources and skills, the odds increase. In the end, surviving a zombie apocalypse is not just about who has the most food, the best guns, or the biggest house. It's about adaptability, resilience, and the will to keep going when everything falls apart. And in that sense, America's homeless population might be more prepared than we think. They live every day with struggle, uncertainty, and danger. If anyone could adapt to a world overrun by the undead, it just might be them. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe, drop your opinions in the comments, and I'll see you in the next survival video.